Hello and welcome to more Marvel Character Talk. Today we're going to take a look through the very first Thor by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, Journey Into Mystery number 83. If you'd like, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, reply, share, and like. Let's take a look at the cover here. Introducing the mighty Thor, the most exciting superhero of all time. Begin the saga of Thor in this issue. There they are. They're the stone men from Saturn. Coming down. First look, I always think, ooh, that's a helicopter and that's the spinning blade. Of course, they're aliens, and that's the spaceship. There's the logo. Classic 83 August cover date. We've got some Jack Kirby drawn civilians. They're always neat. There's a closer look at Thor. He's got his helmet is colored the same as his outfit, a dark blue. That it eventually changed to a white helmet. You can see here the date, 62. Thor, the mighty, and the stone men from Saturn. There's Don Blake, Dr. Blake. Let's see, this one doesn't have credits. A credit box. I don't even see the Stan and Jack right there on this one. Of course, the stone men, they're orange, but they were colored green on the cover. They did that a lot in the early issues where something was colored differently than it actually was. The most classic example is Scarlet Witch. She's green on the first cover there. Look at them coming down. They're cool. I think later they called this race is like a Cronin. When they were going to have in the MCU, I believe it was the Thor, the Dark World, they were going to have in the trailer, they'd show a rock-like creature that Thor was going to have trouble with. And then in the movie, spoiler, he just throws his hammer and he breaks all apart. So I was kind of disappointed about that. And then later in the third Thor, we've got the character Korg, and I believe he's kind of like the race of like that. They're not from Saturn, I don't think, but they look similar, being a rock-type creature. Here he is. Here he's going to find the hammer. Here, whosoever holds the hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. And of course, in the MCU, they didn't make Don Blake turn into Thor like this with his alter ego of being a doctor and stuff. Although they did have an Easter egg for Donald Blake in the first one. And then remember this one when we get to the last page, how they spell this. That's the text story. Back then, they had some fill-ins besides the regular fantasy stories at the end. They had the text story, just words. Here's part 2. The power of Thor. And you can see how he's first drawn. He's more cheerful and youthful looking. I mean, he'd still be young looking in the regular Thor, but he wouldn't be. You see how he looks there. He means young, happy, kind of silly. Not silly, but you know what I mean. Not the regular Kirby. So this is cool artwork, and I believe again this is Dick Ayers. He was usually the inker, the standard inker for Jack Kirby in the early '60s. It looks funny seeing him with the blue helmet instead of the white helmet. There he is, discovering about the tapping, thumping of it. A moment later, something flashes through. So I got that. It's going to fly up to meet him. Thor 3. Mighty Thor Strikes Back. You're seeing the Stone Men. Got a caption showing how strong he is. Yeah, so we just had the Hulk and the Fantastic Four, and now we've got Thor. They're sending out this robot. Yeah, so aliens played a big part in the early stories of the heroes. Like we had the Skrulls in issue number 2 of the Fantastic Four. So let's just it's a short story. It's page 11. It's a 13-pager. He beats them. They're going to say, here's the key thing. Back to the ships at once. We must flee this accursed planet. So he was too strong for them. And then here we go. Don Blake again. The menace is ended. Now it's time for me. Go back to the States, taking with me the greatest power ever known. And look, editor's note, now all of a sudden Thor here by mistake has an extra R. The new superhero of all time will appear regularly in Journey Into Mystery. Reserve your next month's issue at your news dealer now. Sure to be a sellout. Okay, and then we don't need to look too close at other pages. There's a Don Heck story, artwork of one of the fantasy type stories that they had as fill-in. Those are usually 5 pages, so we got another 5 pages. We get the second part of the text story, so that's 2 more, and we have the Stan Lee, Steve Ditko story. There's in here. Spider-Man's going to be showing up in Amazing Fantasy, so that'd be the next hero is showing up. And then the following year, Spider-Man March cover date of 63 would get his own comic. And then they'd start the crossovers. So this is another 5-pager. And that's that on this. Let's look through the very first Thor, The Journey Into Mystery. Hope you like seeing that. Until next time, more Marvel character talk. Thank you for watching.